What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Marcus Show, and welcome back to another movie review. Right, I would like to apologise for the video which I put out for the F1 film. Unfortunately, it came up said it was not uploaded from one tab, and another tab it says it was. So I accidentally pressed delete, and it deleted the entire video. So, for my apologies, that entire video got deleted, but we're doing it again. But I'd like to apologise for that upload, and also for Wicked for Good as well, which will also be coming up today as well. And also one more, maybe two more, which will be coming up as well. So that's my apologies, and you should see more videos up by today. So, F1 film. Like I said in the previous video here of F1, this film, like, as a fan of F1 here, like, I'm a big football fan and a big tennis and darts fan, but I've always got a very soft spot for F1 because my dad loves F1, and I've gotten to know it a lot more, and so with my dad. But yeah, with this F1 film, this is a fantastic film, literally. CGI, absolutely incredible. The camera work of the landscape of every time they go onto the track is incredible. And with the cars they picked out, to me, they hit it right on the nut. And with having the legendary music composer of Hans Zimmer, of knowing that we knew the music and this film will probably be a success because of that person, of Hans Zimmer, and also the director of John Krasinski as well, and also of Joseph Kosinski, and also with a screenplay and produced by the legendary Jeremy Bruckheimer. But yes, literally, there's so much you can come off from this, and I'm so happy that this film was made. And hearing that number 2 is in production as well, I'm even more happy to see that as well. But yeah, let's go on to the cast. And I think we have to start with the legendary actor of himself, that is Brad Pitt. In honesty, I've watched a few films of Brad Pitt here and there. I've watched him on the film It Goes All the Way to Hollywood with Margot Robbie. That film was not great, honestly, in my honest opinion. I thought it was alright, but it was sluggish here and there. But with the F1 film, he was absolutely fantastic. This puts Brad Pitt's personality and his acting ability to a different kind of test. And he passed it with flying colours, honestly, to me, because I absolutely loved him in this. He plays Sonny Hayes, a old school American driver who just wants to enjoy his time, and he came back to He used to be an F1 driver back when he was like a youngster, but a certain few issues happened here and there, and that was it. But he was in a bar, and he got let's just say he walked into an old friend of Ruben Cavaras, who's played by the legendary Javier Bardem. And he and Ruben made his own team with a new rookie driver, new team and everything. And for him to keep the team into F1, he had to win a race. But the problem, here was a lot of the issues. It was a new team. The rookie driver was so cocky and arrogant, he was doing anything he could to make sure that this team was going to be a success, but it wasn't. That's why he brought in Sonny Hayes. And with Brad Pitt playing Sonny Hayes and this kind of character of seeing what Sonny's personality and what Brad Pitt does with his acting here and there, it just smashed it out the window for him, and I enjoyed that. But talking about Brad Pitt, we have to talk about Javier Bardem, like the legendary actor of himself. Literally, Javier Bardem, in my honest opinion, is such a good actor. Like, he's been in so many good films. He has been in Dune Part 1 and Part 2, and going to be in Part 3, which I cannot wait for. And even hearing that Avengers Doomsday and Dune Part 3 are both going to be released at the same day. God help the theatres and the popcorn, that's what I'm going to say on that one. He was also in Lala the Crocodile, he was in Little Mermaid, he was in Monster, in the TV series Monster on Netflix. He was even in the James Bond film Skyfall. And I love Javier Bardem in Skyfall. Him in the Skyfall was absolutely insane. But this is different to Skyfall, Noah. He played the owner, and let me tell you, Javier Bardem, again, with his ability and all that, he smashed out the window, and I love doing that. And I give him credit to that. Then we go on to Damius Idris, who played Joshua Pierce, who played the cocky young driver. He was only in TV series before this. This was his big call up into the film industry. And let me tell you, he smashed it. He smashed it out the window here and there, and I applaud him for that. He's not been in a film until this film came out, and I can see what he's going to bring to the table in the movie industry here. In honesty, it was so good. With his acting ability as well, with Sonny, with Brad Pitt, with Damien and Joshua Pierce, young, cocky. This is one coming up here. Literally a young, cocky driver. Yeah. And let me tell you, I know a few young, cocky drivers from F1 for a few years ago. No, my name's Verstappen. But yeah. Yeah. Let's just say, yeah. When you're a youngster, you expect yourself the highest of marks. But in honesty, that didn't work out for some other drivers. It certainly didn't start out for this driver, I can tell you here and now. Like, this one instance in the film, they were in Monza, Italy. He was in second place catching up with Max Verstappen. Sonny told him not to go fast at all because it was raining. He went fast, he went off the track, and his car hit the barrier and blew up. Sonny got out of his car and saved the youngster, because if it wasn't for that, we would have had another Ayrton Senna incident. Literally, it's mental. Another Ayrton Senna incident, or wherever driver had a problem. Literally, I can't remember his name on the top of my head. Niki Lauda, that's it. It just popped out of my head. Another Niki Lauda situation. Now that situation was absolutely horrific. If you don't know, I recommend going and watching the film Rush. That tells you all about it. But if you short story less, he was driving. It came off, and let's just say he did not come out peaches. And that's all I'm saying on that one. You probably do know the story of it, but I'm not going to go through it because that's another film and all that. But yeah, that's a little bit of a credit to that part of what happened. I think that's what they did. And honestly, it shows what movie directors and producers show. I said, we have to show this part of this film and show it's still here today. And honestly, it's still in every driver's mind. Think about it. Literally, every driver who drives for F1 knows what happened to Niki Lauda. Everyone knows what happened with Pedro Grosjean. Everyone knows that. And it's mental, to be honest. But yeah. Back onto the film, he was fantastic. His acting for his first film was so great, so greatly done. I give him credit for that. Then we go on to Kerry Condon, who played Kate McKenna. She has been in an Oscar award-winning film, The Bandy of Inisherin. That film, for me, was a very good film. Was it overhyped a bit? A little bit, yes. But that's my opinion for another time. But in this film, she was absolutely fantastic. She was just the car's designer and manufacturer. Like, for example, it's insane, to be honest. Like, you want to see women in sport a lot more. I would love to see women more in sport. More in F1. I can't wait to see a first female driver in F1. Whenever that does happen, in the film or in real life, I will give credit to that. Because where women's sports going at the moment is absolutely fantastic, but I think it needs to be pushed a little bit more up than it does now. And that's my opinion on that. But yeah, she was fantastic in that, and in honesty, she could not do anything better, but she done fantastically in everything she done. Even having a romantic scene with Brad Pitt in one side of the film. But yeah. But back onto the music part, like, we have to give credit to a few artists here and there, and I'm talking about Doja Cat, Rose, and Ed Sheeran, because Ed Sheeran sung the song Drive, which I think is still a banger. Messy, which Rose song. I think Messy, in honesty, is probably one of the better songs in the film. She sung that so bloody well. I still love it to this day, and I point one on my playlist, even Will Drive. And even with Doja Cat, even her song is so good as well. It's good to see, like, they bring artists from this day and age and into the films. It's so good. And I think we had to give a few shout outs to Callie Cookie, who played the young Pit woman. We have to give credit to Sarah Knowles, who played Benedetti, who played Joshua Pierce's mum, Kim Boudana, Toby Mazes, and Will Merrick as well. But yeah, guys, this film is so greatly done. You're gonna have to give it credit here and there. But also, let's give a big round of applause to all the F1 drivers who appeared in the film as well. And also to Toto Wolff, who also put a little bit of a cameo into that. Asking Jordan Pierce, there's always a seat, but he turned them down because he knows that his allegiance lies with this team, with Ruben. But yeah, guys, I'm going to give this a rating. I'm going to give this an 8. Such a good film. Is it going to win Oscars? Maybe. There's going to be a few films here and there going through it. Like, we've got Sinners, you've got Wicked. You've got a few films here and there, but you never know. But yeah, guys, I'm going to end the video there. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on another video in a few hours.